Do you know the one thing that the Black Panther Party did that was the reason that J. Edgar Hoover considered them the biggest threat? It was the free breakfast that they were providing to kids. Story time. So January 1969, at a small Episcopal church in Oakland, this is where the story takes off. There's a group of party members and volunteers, and they go store to store, and they're asking for donations for this breakfast program. And they team up with nutritionists, and they come up with a nutritional program to give kids breakfast before school. Novel idea. They start small. They're only feeding like 100 kids. Within a couple of weeks, they're feeding hundreds of children before school. School officials reach out to these people, and they're saying, oh my gosh, things have turned around incredibly fast. The principal tells one of the women that the kids aren't falling asleep in class or crying from stomach pains. I should mention that many of these children hadn't had breakfast before. Like ever. This breakfast program spreads quickly. Within just a short period of time, it's in 23 different cities. In 1969, the Black Panther Party feeds 20,000 children. During that same year, in a U.S. Senate hearing, we have the head of the National Lunch Program. They're saying that the Black Panthers are feeding more children than the entire state of California did. But did I mention that Nixon wasn't a fan of this? He felt that the Black Panthers were actually buying the loyalty of these children with food. Now, where another person would have said, well, maybe we need to do bigger breakfast and maybe hand out bikes as we're giving them food, he decides to go a different route. He's having his agents go door to door in places like Richmond, Virginia, and tell the parents that the food will actually give them venereal diseases. And in Chicago, we actually have police officers who break into a church the night before they're supposed to have their first breakfast program. They destroy all of the food and then urinate on the remains. Mumble, mumble, something about protect and serve. So between the FBI, police arrests, murders, and just general mayhem being just ran amok by the government, this whole thing breaks up within just a couple years. But the Black Panther Party's free breakfast program, that ends up putting a national spotlight on this huge glaring need that we all seem to have. And it's in 1975 that Congress pulls their act together and actually gets the program going. So nationwide, we have free and reduced lunch and breakfast for children who need it. And it's that program today that is feeding like nearly 15 million children a year. So as we're thinking about, tearing apart the education system and departments, let's think about what they're all doing, because it's a lot more than just teaching the children. And let's thank the Black Panther.